Hello, everyone. Vicious, relentless bombing of Ukraine continues, but its enemy has gotten a little bit overzealous, so much so it managed to bomb its own village. I'm curious what people living in that village have to say about this. This wouldn't be the first time Russia had hit one of its own. There were times when it shot down its own planes, where it shot down Ukrainian missiles and the debris rained down upon its own cities, and so on and so forth. Again, people of Russia, this is up to you. You can make the stop literally anytime. You know what to do. Just saying. Meanwhile, attacks against Ukraine, like I said, continue. A town was hit in my native Zaporizhia region, the town of Orekhiv. A house was destroyed. A 75 woman was injured. I wonder what Russians' excuse for that is. Was she a NATO spy or something? This particular piece illustrates the difference between what Russia says and what is actually happening. On top of the photographs from one of the places that were struck by this latest wave of attacks, and at the bottom is a report from the Russian Ministry of Defense saying how they have dealt a crippling blow to the enemy with high precision long range missiles and drones, and that all of their goals have been achieved, that all of the objects they intended to strike were indeed hit. So, if we take them literally, this means they intended to strike homes, schools, museums, villages. That's what they're saying. And again, after the retaliation strike by Ukraine in self-defense against the border city of Belgorod, which houses numerous Russian military objects and troops, Putin vows to keep pounding Ukraine into oblivion. Why nobody else sees that it's a problem, considering Russia attacked Ukraine and continues attacking Ukraine, is beyond me. Now, that said, I want people to pay attention to bits of news like this one, because a lot of the sources are floating around the headline that Ukraine cannot win, Ukrainian counteroffensive is stalled. Well, if it's stalled, how do you explain this? Explain this to me. How could they have dealt that kind of damage to the Russian military if they're stalled? There have been explosions in the capital. That's actually a really good illustration of the scale of the attack. So as I mentioned before, we have multiple Patriot air defense systems, and I think, if memory serves me right, that Ukraine's capital of Kiev has at least two, because it's the capital, it's the seat of Ukrainian government, so that makes sense. So the fact that those systems couldn't shoot down all of the projectiles launched, that just tells you how big that attack actually was. I was surprised that this didn't get reported earlier, because when I spoke to my parents on Sunday, my father told me, it's like, the attacks were so massive and went so far to the west that there was some stuff actually flying toward Poland. I'd like to remind you that there was some damage to the city of Lviv, which is all the way to the west. It's one of the most westward cities in Ukraine, and it's been one of the places of sanctuary for people fleeing the active war zone. So that's how far those rockets have gone and drones. And so what was not reported is that some of it actually was close enough to the Polish territory that they have deployed 2 pairs of F-16s. That's serious. So they felt threatened enough. And again, my question is this: considering Poland is an EU member and a NATO member, shouldn't somebody be doing something about this? Because again, this is serious. This is not the first time Poland had to sit up and take notice of what is going next door. I am surprised that there isn't a significant accumulation of NATO troops and reinforcements at the Polish border, because there should be. And once again, as I said many times before, this is not just about Ukraine. It's never been just about Ukraine. What are you waiting for?